Geeks, nerds, gamers, and trolls. This is your MMOBomb.com first look at Ram Pressure. It is free to play, it is early access, it is on Steam. So here we go. I am, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, the noob fridge, Troy Blackburn. And as always, this is a first look, not an expert guide, not an in-depth review, simply us taking a look at the game, showing you what we found, helping you to decide if it's a game that you want to download and try for yourself or not. Now, on the Steam page, they refer to this as a tactical, story-driven online multiplayer game. Let me sum that up for you real simple. Free-to-play XCOM with a focus on multiplayer. That's pretty much what you're looking at here with Ram Pressure. Now, of course, we'll go back and take a look at the lobby here in just a few minutes, but you basically assemble your squad. You can do different loadouts, and then you launch into a mission, which you find on the big world map, as you saw there at the beginning. And then you load in, and each character has 2 action points, and you have Overwatch and shooting and grenades and med kits and all the things you might expect in a tactical game like this. Now, in the footage, you're going to see me show off a lot of the simple core aspects of the game. You're able to rotate the map. You're able to zoom in and out. You can choose which character you want to take a turn with until they're out of action points. And, of course, you can do a basic move, which uses 1 action point, or you can do a sprint, which uses up both action points. The game shows you on the ground. If you're moving within blue, it's just 1 action point. If you're moving within yellow, it is a sprint. Now, I will have to say the grass here, not only does it look fuzzy, I'm not sure if that's going to come across on YouTube or not, but in the gameplay itself, it looked really fuzzy, and you'll see me go in and turn it off here in just a minute, because it's really hard to see the grid sometimes, especially when it tries to show you that you have line of sight to an enemy. Once you hover over an area you're thinking about moving to, if you can see an enemy, it'll give you a red line that shows you that you can see from there and what percentage chance to hit you have from there. It's really hard to see with the grass, so I go in and turn it just completely off. Not only does it not look good, it kind of gets in the way of the gameplay. That being said, I'm not the biggest fan of the grid, as you can see here, that it shows when you're trying to move. It's a little rough to tell exactly where you're trying to click sometimes. When you're getting in behind cover or not, you might accidentally click on the cover, so you have to click 2 or 3 times before your guy will even move, and that can be a little bit annoying. I'm used to just, the one square shows you exactly the square you're trying to move to. It's just a little weird getting used to that little grid. Just a thing you got to get used to. Graphically, the game is serviceable. There's nothing spectacular going on here. Like I said, the grass is actually really bad and gets in the way and doesn't look good anyway. Everything else looks pretty okay. Some stuff looks good here and there. I did do a quick Google search of the developer of this. It's a small Russian developer, Quadcom Interactive. There's also going to be some translation errors that we'll see here and there. Just little small grammatical errors. But Quadcom Interactive seems to, according to Facebook, specialize in social and mobile games. So that sort of explains to me the graphic quality here. Like I said, some of it's okay. It's serviceable, but you're not going to be raving about the graphics quality of this game. The shadows are pretty choppy, and not to go on and on about the grass, but it gets in the way and it's ugly. I'll quit talking about the grass now. So here we are in first-person view, selecting targets. You can tab target till you swap enemies when you're in first-person view like that, or you can choose them before going into the fire animation. It gives you percentage to hit, so if you're used to games like XCOM, Phoenix Point, those sort of things, get ready. Anything less than 100% chance to hit is a 50-50 toss-up whether or not you're going to do any damage. We all know you need to bow down to RNGesus for games like this. Here you can see the little red line I was talking about. I'll show it off a couple of times here. When you just kind of hover over a spot you're thinking about moving to, it shows you the red line. Also, you're going to see me, it's easy to say now, right? Oh, I'm doing bad stuff on purpose. But I am legitimately moving some folks here and there, especially here in a minute, just in out in the open, just to kind of see what the AI will do, see how the AI will react, because they don't seem like the most intelligent AI in the world. So I just kind of wanted to see how they reacted. If I'm standing in the open, are you going to come at me or not? So you'll see me here in a minute. Just leave a guy in the open. He's going to fall over dead, but the AI did come out in the open to get him. Now, I do have some issues with some of the placement and percent chance to hit, depending on where I'm standing.
All right.
It's very, very picky. It doesn't matter if you're standing right next to a guy, and you'll see that here later in the footage. I can be right next to a dude and have a 39, 28% chance to hit. If I just move one square over, still adjacent to the guy, like I'm already adjacent to the guy, but one square over, it'll go up a little bit or go all the way up to 100. Where I'm standing seems really weird. I guess the defense of the cover they're behind might have something to do with that. But I mean, if the cover's behind him and I'm standing on the other side where he's open, right freaking next to him, how am I missing that shot? I have no idea. That's one of the issues. Speaking of issues, boom, right here, camera gets wonky sometimes. And the way it jumps around from character to character, and it's spun around on me before, and I completely lost perspective on where I was. I had to spin it around a few times to figure out exactly now what orientation was I using on the map to see what I wanted to see. Camera buggy, early access. Hopefully that will improve, but for right now, you do got some buggy camera. Here you can see in first person, stuff gets in the way. Even when you're zoomed all the way out, sometimes stuff doesn't fade out like it should and gets in the way. It can be hard to tell where stuff is sometimes. Camera definitely needs some work. AI needs some work. Man, I don't know the adjacency. I feel like I should be killing some dudes when I stand right next to them, but sometimes you just don't. Now, the setting for the story is, according to the governments, a meteor crashed on the planet. What it actually is, of course, is an alien spacecraft. I have chosen the CIA faction. When you very first log into the game, you got to choose a faction, either American CIA, Russian, some kind of Russian secret ops, and Chinese. And I don't know if there's any difference in the factions. I just chose CIA, like I assume most of us from the States probably will. Aliens crash landed, or an alien ship crash landed, and we're fighting other factions over the tech and what's found there. We're not fighting aliens. I've played, this is like the first full mission that I actually recorded. And of course, as always, I go in and play a bunch more just to see what's out there. I haven't seen any aliens yet. I haven't fought any aliens. It's like a military tactical shooter with a setting of aliens to maybe justify some more laser type weapons later on. But so far, I haven't actually fought any aliens. Pretty disappointed in that. So I guess maybe that keeps them from being a straight XCOM rip. I don't know, but it looks like they were going for a multiplayer with PvP military tactical shooter with sort of the combat of XCOM, and they were like, oh, if we want to attract those people, we need to make aliens involved. Well, I mean, maybe later on down the line you fight aliens. I would sure love to try that. Speaking of the PvP, Burn and I had talked about doing a first look together on this and doing some PvP, going head to head, because, you know, we like talking smack to each other. Unfortunately, I can't get into the PvP. You got to go all the way through the campaign, apparently, according to the map, no matter, like, I've got several hours into this now, a handful of hours, and I still have to, all it says is progress through the campaign to unlock the PvP. It doesn't say complete the campaign. It doesn't say at what point you unlock the PvP. So I don't know how much further I got to go into this to unlock the PvP. Quite frankly, right now, I mean, it's not that interesting of a game. I don't know that I want to play this whole campaign with its laughable voice acting at times, and no insult to anybody who recorded voice lines for this, but it's just really not good. It's not done with professionals. They at least, for the most part, sound like they're trying to do their part. I mean, they put their effort into it, but the voice acting is meh. The little clips you hear here and there, people talking. But yeah, I can't get to the PvP. Would have loved to have shown off some of that, or really I would have loved to have played against Mike in it. But there's no way that both of us are gonna spend just dozens and dozens of hours going through this campaign just to play, 10 minutes of PvP and then never play this again. So unfortunately, no PvP. I don't know at this point what it takes to unlock it. I've tried to look it up. I don't see anything in particular that says, it tells me exactly how long you got to go to unlock PvP. But for right now, I can't get to it. So who is this game for? If you don't own XCOM or Phoenix Point, I guess this is probably worth downloading and trying, in all honesty.
Affirmative.
Owning both of those games, as well as playing Atlas Rogues now, I would rather just go play those. If you are interested in this type of combat and you don't own either one of those games, this is a good game to download and just check out that style of combat, and you can see if that style of combat works for you. But if you like it, probably better off just going and spending some money on those games right now. Let's jump out to the menus, take a look at the cash shop, and get into that because that does not look good at the moment. So here we are back at the world map. As you can see, very XCOM-y in that you have missions around the world that you select to go into. As you can see, PvP is locked. It doesn't really tell me when I get to it. It just says progress through the campaign. At this point, I can just assume that you have to finish the campaign. Now, every time you use a mission, it doesn't cost you days like it does in XCOM. And like you don't spend through the days to wait for another mission to pop up. There are just daily missions and campaign story missions that you can go in. And to unlock certain missions, you have to collect enough intel to get into that mission. But then when you go to the daily missions, it uses a different name for whatever, I forget now what it was, but it called it something else. It looked like that was supposed to be the intel that I was supposed to collect, but if you really wanted to be clear on that, it should have also called it intel, because it tells you how many credits you get for that mission, and then whatever other thing it called it should have been intel. Here's the armory with all your weapons. These are the ones that you have. As you can see, you can go into your squaddies. You can equip them with different things. You can go to the marketplace. We'll take a look at here momentarily. And you've got other slots you can unlock. As you make more money, upgrade your characters. There are also, as we'll show off here, little tech trees. So this guy at this point in the game is level 1, so I can pick a ability from this tech tree. Now each character, as I'll show here in just a second, has one free respec. So I'm going to play with it here. I just chose one. Then I'm going to go in and respec him here momentarily. And then I'll go back and do it again. The second time, it cost me 300 of the credits of the in-game currency. Right now, the only currency that I have access to is the in-game currency. And so, as you can see here, the first one is free, so I respec him. And then I choose another ability, and I go in and see that it's 300. Now, it says that the price escalates based on the number of points that you've spent so far. So as the tree goes up and you get higher levels and you spend more points, you're going to spend more of the in-game currency to respec. So real quick, let's jump up to the currency. As you can see, this is the cash shop, and you just buy the in-game currency, the dollars you make from doing missions. You can spend $1 for 17,500. It's 80% off, it says. The next level is like $9 for 35,000. Then you could get like a couple of first aid kits and some grenades. Then it jumps to $45, and that's the highest one right now. It's 200,000 plus a bunch of first aid kits and repair kits and other stuff. But yeah, $1, $9, $45. What a heck of a jump. Now, that being said, I am not sure about that because you can buy improved ammo with that currency. You can buy improved armor with that currency. You can buy improved squad units for that currency. Does that apply to PvP? I don't know. I can't get into it. As you can see, there is ratings for PvP. You can see some of the folks on the scoreboard there. I can't get into it. I wish I could. Potential pay to win. Potential pay to win. I can't say that it is, though. I can't just say pay to win because I do not know for sure. Would I play this for the PvP? Maybe. But I'm not going to play all the way through this campaign for the PvP. The reviews on Steam are mixed right now. It is early access. Keep that in mind. So we try to be fair to Ram Pressure here. Reviews are mixed, and I 100% see why. We've got some early access, at least, issues going on here. We got wonky cameras. We got some graphical issues. We've got some control issues. We've got some potential cash shop issues. And really, if you were going to play this over anything else, in this field of game, it would be because of the PvP. And I don't know that this, well, actually I do know. This campaign is not engaging enough to play through it just to get to PvP. It's just not. I'd rather just go play XCOM. I'd rather go play Phoenix Point. I'd rather go play Atlas Rogues. That's just me personally. If you like what you see here, obviously you can go check it out for free. It's just a quick download. Try the game. If you like it, play it. Here's some more stuff in the way of the camera. Don't know what's going on here. At least I hit somebody. I guess that's a bonus. But yeah, as always, be sure to check out MMOBomb.com for all the latest news and information on free-to-play games, everything, everywhere. You can follow me on Twitter at NoobFridge. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. This is Ram Pressure, free-to-play early access on Steam. Check it out. For now, this MMOBomb first look is done. I am out. Later.